What's up, guys? Sorry, my lights are not lighting. Sorry, my hair's not hairing. But new episode of the Therapy Podcast, episode 10. If you want to watch this live, join the Discord in the description. I do them live on my Discord every Friday. Sorry I didn't have much of an outro in this one. I just thought we were dragging it along, so I kind of just figured I'd end it where we were ending it. But this episode, I have my cousin as a special guest, Outcast Carly. So, hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Peace. All right, here we go. What episode is this? I don't even remember. Episode 10. So, here goes nothing. Welcome back. And let's get into it. I need to invite our guest. Give me just a second. All right. I'm just waiting for them to show up, then we'll get started. If you know how to request to speak, there you go. How do I? Oh, there we go. Invite to speak. If you know how to accept, there we go.
I'll turn my video on.
Should be at the bottom.
Got it. This lighting probably terrible because I'm not home.
It's okay.
Should be great.
The mic cuts out a little,
Hey,
but
what's
it's
up?
fine. It's all right.
It might be my AirPods. I can change them. Should I take my AirPods out?
It's up to you.
Well, am I cutting in and out really bad?
No, it was
Okay.
just my one spot.
Okay.
So, how's it going?
I mean, it's been a day. It's been a fucking week or two. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Anyway, it's been a long 2 weeks. Uh,
Oops.
but I had therapy on Wednesday, so that, got me through a lot.
Yeah.
So we're doing okay now, but it's been rough.
I've been thinking about getting back into therapy, but I just don't feel like it does anything for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt like that before too, but that's why I said, like, if you aren't feeling like you're getting anything out of it, then you need to try someone else because the therapist that you see is going to make or break your experience. Like I went through probably 5 or 6 therapists until I have the one. So I got to the one that I'm with now, and I've been seeing her for 8 years.
Right. I don't
You
know.
know, and I was telling her a little bit about the stuff that I've gone through over the last like 2.5 weeks. And I told her, I said, I had to take a step back on Friday last weekend and acknowledge the progress that I've made, because there are days where it's like I feel like I'm tossing all the progress out the window, but when in reality I'm not doing that. Like I still have shit I need to work on, obviously, like everybody does, but I have to acknowledge the little wins here and there. And I know I've told you that before.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely think the therapist can, make or break the experience for sure. But if you don't feel like you're getting anything out of it, you got to be vocal about that. And no therapist is going to get upset if you say, hey, like, I appreciate you taking the time to work with me, but I don't think that I'm getting out of this what I need. I'm going to try with somebody else. And they should
Right.
be fine with that.
But I also just can't afford it right now either.
Well, we can talk about that later because I can get you hooked up with it. Um,
What do you mean?
our,
Is it that personal?
well, no, like there's assistance programs and stuff. I just don't have the information on
Gotcha.
hand. It's at my house.
Gotcha.
So I can send that to you. I'll be going home in the morning to drop the dog off before I go over to my haircut appointment, but I can send you the number. I can't remember what it's called, which is part of why I said I can share that later, but it's in Hanover somewhere over by like Royal Farms, I guess.
Right.
But there's like an assistance office. You can go in there and they'll ask you a couple questions, and typically they'll be able to pay for you to go to therapy because I was on that for the longest time.
I don't know. I'm not even interested that much into getting therapy either.
I mean, if you're not interested in it, then don't, because you're just wasting your own time at that point. You need to want it, and if you don't want it, then it's it's kind of pointless going then.
Right. So I ended up quitting
How are
my
you
job
doing?
again.
Was that the good news Grandma wanted to tell me?
I don't know.
Well, she called me earlier and she was like, "Did you talk to Ryan today?" And I was like, "Well, I'm getting ready to do a podcast with him as soon as I'm done eating." And she's like, "Well, I'll let you go." And I was like, "Well, what do you need?" And she's like, "Oh, I was gonna tell you some good news, but I'll let Ryan do it." And I'm like, "All right."
Okay.
So I was
I
wondering
mean, I got another
what
job,
that is.
obviously.
Oh, sweet. Is
Yeah.
it still in the car industry?
Yeah, it's Lube Tech at Jiffy Lube.
Oh, so Jack's actually leaving there in a couple weeks, so I wonder if you're taking his job.
Nah, I doubt it. Because
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be fresh. I'm sure they need somebody more experienced to cover his job.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I feel really bad for leaving my job, but it was really bad for my mental health.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it always sucks when you're leaving jobs. I mean, God knows I've had enough of them, but if you're not happy there, you can't stay, especially if it's taking a toll on your mental health. That's why I left the last place that I was at. And that was supposed to like be my entry level IT job, and I'm so grateful now that I left where I was, because the place that I'm working at now, I'm getting the actual IT experience that I need. I love most of my coworkers. My managers and supervisors are awesome, and I'm actually trying to get somebody that I used to work with at my last job to come with me to this place. Can you stop? The dogs are whining. Um, but you got to do what's best for you. I mean, it's never easy telling, like, they train you and give you the opportunity to make money and stuff. It always sucks being like, hey, I'm leaving.
Yeah. And I think I took more of a pay cut than I realized. So I think I'm low key screwed. So,
Well, why do you not ask questions before you take jobs?
well, no, I did, but I only took $1 pay cut, but I also am not getting commission. So I didn't think about that part.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you took a dollar pay cut and you're not getting commission, then you probably are gonna. That's $40 a week, which will probably be like 25-ish, maybe 28 after taxes.
What do you mean?
Like what you'd be losing per week, you wouldn't be losing the 25 to 28, but like after taxes, I don't know. My brain hurts. I can't do math right now.
What do you mean 25 to 28?
I can't do math right now. Never mind.
Okay. But so I was making probably almost around 20ish with commission. So now I'm gonna be making
Where you left
14.
or when you
Yeah.
were in Slippery Rock?
No, where I left.
Well, I mean, get in there and do the job, and if you don't like it and you're not making enough money, just apply to other places. I don't know.
I'm probably gonna have to get a second job, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been there. That sucks.
And then that'll interfere with my streaming and probably won't be able to do that then.
Why don't you try door dashing
I
and do like,
I don't think it's busy enough around here.
oh, my other cousin's mom, she does it a lot, but I don't know what kind of money she might make.
Yeah. I mean, does she live around here?
Yeah, she lives in Cherrytown.
Gotcha. Because I've looked into it a few times, but I don't think it's busy enough around here.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, at least doing the lube tech stuff at Jiffy Lube, you know, eventually, like, say you work there for a year and you want to go work somewhere else, like, at least you'll have the experience to do that. I know,
Right.
I'm pretty sure I remember you had a job up in Slippery Rock where it was kind of like you were getting experience doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I low-key miss that job a little bit. Working at Love's as a tire tech.
Hey, there's probably one in Harrisburg you can go work at.
I don't think so. I think the closest one was in like West Virginia.
I'm gonna look this up because I know Aaron passes one on the way to work, but I don't know where it is.
Plus, I don't want to. I like Jiffy Lube because it's close. I don't want to drive more than a half hour.
Yeah, there's one in Middletown.
I don't know how far that is, but it's probably too far for me. I want something close.
I know Marbar pays good, but you gotta get some experience to work there.
Yeah.
Because Paige's ex-boyfriend worked there for a little bit.
Yeah.
When do you start?
Monday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, I think is there for another 2 or 3 weeks yet, so you have to talk to him and stuff. He can teach you a few things.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. Maybe it was in the other building.
When did you go?
Today.
What time?
Like 10.
Oh, yeah, maybe he was in the other building, or maybe he had off today. Because he texted my dad this morning saying he was leaving. He was
Gotcha.
going to work at White Rose.
White Rose.
Yeah, the hobby place up in York.
Who is going to work there?
Jack.
This is the one in Hanover.
Yes, I know. Jack works at the Jiffy Lube in Hanover. He is leaving Jiffy Lube in
Oh,
Hanover to go
okay.
work at White Rose
Gotcha.
Hobbies in York.
Gotcha. I thought you meant he left
Sorry.
today to go.
Oh, no.
But how's school been going?
I'm done.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, I've been done. I graduated in December. So it's just work stuff now and wedding planning and all that fun jazz.
Yeah. Sorry about the
Well,
seating issue, by the way.
I mean, it is what it is. We got stuff coming from both fields, so I expected the stress when we planned to
You're
get
not changing it,
married
are
and
you?
have a real wedding. I can't. It's already done.
Yeah.
The stuff was already paid for. I can't change the order. So,
Right.
Madeline, if you're watching this, I am very sorry.
I mean, it's her own fault, and she didn't say anything, so.
I know, it just sucks because it's like I was trying to be so accommodating for everybody, and it's just stressful. Honestly, like I was talking to Paige the other day, and I think Nicole, and I'm like, I don't know how people get married more than once. Like, I don't know why you would want to do this more than once. It's stressful. It's so freaking expensive, and you got people on this side of the family saying, "Oh, why aren't you inviting this person?" And then you got this person on this side of the family saying, well, "Why aren't you inviting these people?" And it's just really frustrating because it's like because we don't want them there. It's our wedding, and I think that we should be allowed to invite who we want and not invite who we don't want there.
Right.
It's just frustrating.
I
Like if
don't.
I could go back and just redo it all, I don't think we would even have a wedding at this point. I think we would just go to the courthouse, but we spent a lot of money that we can't get back, so we're
Yeah.
getting married and having a wedding.
I don't even know if I'll ever get married. I feel like I'm gonna be alone my whole life. I'm gonna be like Bob.
You sound like my friend Kevin.
And I don't know if I'll
I
ever have
also feel
kids.
like I also feel like though Bob, like I can't speak for his dating life obviously, but I don't really feel like he's been with anybody at least since I think Sherry was her name.
Yeah.
And that was how long ago? That was 10 or more years ago because my dad was with Rita at the time.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, you're still young. You're like what, 24, 25?
24.
Oh, I'm like, how old did you just turn? I know your birthday was just a few days ago. Oh my God, when I was sitting at work and realized that I missed your birthday, I was like, oh my God, I'm such a piece of shit.
It's okay.
My bad, bro. My
It's all
bad.
good. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever have kids either, just because my life's been so traumatic and devastating and a disaster. I just don't want anyone to go through that, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why it's your job as a parent to break the cycle.
But what if I'm not good?
Well, you know, I mean, you definitely shouldn't have kids anytime soon. I think you still have a lot of stuff that you need to work on for yourself.
I feel like I'll
You
be
know, it's
like
kind of like,
this forever.
and maybe you don't want kids, and that's okay.
No,
There's
I
nothing wrong
mean,
with that.
I mean, like, I just feel like I'm always gonna be like this.
Like mental health wise,
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like there's more that you can do. So I will never agree with that.
yeah,
But I say that as somebody that used to feel that way. Feel like things would never change. But you got to put the work in, and if you don't put the work in, nothing's going to change.
right,
Whether that's going to therapy or finding a healthy outlet or finding a hobby that's not streaming. And there's nothing wrong with streaming by any means, but also like get outside and do something. Go kayaking, go ride a bicycle, whatever. Um, and like I don't know if you're still on any medications or not, but like if the medications aren't working and you feel like they're not working, you got to tell the person prescribing them that they're not working. And I know it can be frustrating. I went through so many of them myself when I was still taking the medications because it's like, well, you know, you're prescribing me this, this, and this, and it's supposed to make me feel better, and it's not. And now I have all these side effects, or now I feel angrier than I did, or now I feel like I have no emotions at all. So it's frustrating, and I know that, like, I've been through it. I know how annoying that can be, but also, you know, there are people out there that have, you know, tried a multitude of different things and found a combination of stuff that worked. And I know at least the last time that you and I had talked about the medications that you're on, that you were on, I think 2 or 3 at the time. But, again, it's one of those things where if you think it's not working, then
Yeah.
it's not working. But I also think that it would be worth maybe looking into getting your medical card and going and talking to somebody at the dispensary. I also know that you're scared because of your past experiences. And I know that we had talked briefly about that when you were at my house, about how you go into like this existential crisis. And like, I get it. I haven't touched it since 2017 because of my experiences with it. But I think going in and talking to them and being like, okay, here's my issues. This is how I feel.
Yeah, but
They might be able to, help.
I don't know whether there's a difference for me between indica or sativa, but I've also tried Delta 8 or 9 or whatever it is, and that didn't work either.
Okay, well, Delta 8 and 9 is not going to do shit when you can buy it at a gas station.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
Have you tried? I don't know. So I have a friend that is a nurse, and she cannot get her medical card because she would lose her nursing license. So she gets CBD, and they have wax,
Yeah.
they have flower, they have them in cigarette form because I've tried that myself already. But maybe try that because that helps her a lot with like her anxiety and stuff. She does the wax, so that might be something worth looking into. And I'm pretty sure there's a place in Hanover that has CBD. Let me see. I think it's called Infused Naturals. Yes, Infused Naturals. They have CBD there, so maybe check that place out. See if they have any of the wax or the flower, because that might be a good option for you to try too.
I don't think CBD works for me either. I think it just makes it worse.
That's pretty wild.
But I'm on like 4 meds and I don't really know what works and what doesn't anymore.
What are you on now?
4 different meds. Lamotrigine, venlafaxine, and aripiprazole, I think it's called.
Hmm. I wonder what their non-generic names are.
Not sure.
I don't know. Mental health shit sucks.
Yeah.
I think that like my biggest struggle with it, like at least from my perspective and stuff, is like even now, it's so stupid. I sent Aaron a message today, and because like I just get in my head sometimes, more often than not. And that's not something I like to admit very often, but because I feel like the older I've gotten, I I I feel like I hold on to shit a lot more than I used to, and I don't really talk to people about it anymore unless it's like my therapist. Now every once in a while, like I'll talk to Brandy a little bit, or I'll talk to Nicole about stuff, and then Paige if I see her. But like I messaged Aaron today at work and I said sometimes I think you'll get sick of me and change your mind. And he said I'm not going anywhere. And I said, what if? And I'm not gonna say the names because if you're posting this on YouTube, I don't want anybody starting more drama because I don't think I can take much more of it. But I said, what if blank and blank talk you into it though? Sorry, I haven't slept good for a few weeks and I've just been having bad anxiety about literally everything. And he said it'll be fine, hun. They're not going to change how I feel about you. And then he was like, logically speaking, the only person who would have to compete for your love is Willie, which is his best friend. And he was like, and after September, you will have beaten him anyway. But it's like little shit like that. Like I let stuff that we had to deal with last week on Friday, which was really heavy for me to deal with, and we had to have a really hard conversation, affect me for like such an extended amount of time. And that's something that I've been like trying to talk to my therapist about because like if a situation arises and I get pissed off about it, I spend like the next week or two, sometimes even longer, just sitting and like dwelling on it until it literally gets me to the point where I'm just so exhausted I can't think about it anymore. And I'm doing that currently with the stuff that we had to go deal with on Friday because it's something that keeps continuously being brought up and it's been happening over a 3-year span. And I finally have just had enough. And I was like, if this gets brought up again, I'm fucking done. Because
Right.
I'm not going to keep having shit thrown in my face that happened 3 years ago or 5 years ago. Like, I can't, it's not good for my mental health. And I'm tired of having to keep reliving the same shit over and over and over again. And, people got to respect our boundaries. And if they can't, then they don't need to be part of our life.
Right.
And it sucks, but it is what it is. And I don't care if it's family, friends, whatever. I mean, it's just like, you have certain people in the family that you don't talk to. My sister has certain people in the family that she doesn't talk to. Now, these aren't my family members that I'm talking about, but it's just frustrating. And I told my therapist on Wednesday, I said, I don't know how to stop ruminating on things and just let it go. And I don't know how to just let it go. And one of the people that was involved in the conversation on Friday literally was like, you gotta let it go. You gotta stop letting them get to you. And it's like, oh, I'm fixed. I don't need therapy anymore. Thank you for that advice. Like, it's not a fucking light switch. You can't just turn it off and on.
Right.
Therapy podcast.
What?
I said, oh, therapy podcast. I feel like I'm in therapy now because I'm like venting about all my shit.
Right. I mean, that's the whole point. But also, I forgot to mention just I really, really hope I like this job because if I don't, I just feel like I'm hopeless at that point, that I'll never like anything I do.
I mean, I feel like you got to give yourself a little grace because I feel like you haven't really broken out of the automotive field. There are more jobs out there than automotive.
I know I'm just afraid of doing everything else.
Why?
I don't know. I'm afraid of not liking it.
You know,
And I feel like
um,
my ethic has been terrible lately.
well, the way that you gotta go into it is you need to work because you need money. You need money to buy things. You need money to pay your bills. You need money for food. And like, that's gotta be your thing. And, be good at budgeting if you're not already good at budgeting. You just gotta, you know, they say money doesn't buy happiness, but it definitely makes life a little better, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're not working and you're not making money, then you can't treat yourself to the little things, whether it's a coffee or maybe you buy a game or maybe you buy something for game. I don't know. I know you play Rocket League a lot. I don't know if they have like in-game stuff that you can buy. I imagine that they do. But just
Right.
even stuff like that or getting pizza or cigars or whatever. You got to kind of just force yourself to have a work ethic. And I know it can be hard sometimes, especially when you're not happy at the job that you're at. But you shouldn't be scared to try something new either. Because it's no different than trying a new job in the automotive field. Like, say you don't like it, okay, that sucks, obviously, but you're not limited to just this one specific field. And I get it because I kept going back to the automotive field too. But you're not limited to it. I've worked in offices, I've done security, I've worked in retail, and it was fucking terrifying going into school for a 4-year degree and getting my degree in cybersecurity. And like, still, I have days where I'm like, am I even going to make it? I don't know. But I still show up to work every day, even on the days that I just feel like I can't crawl out of bed because I'm just depressed because it's like, I gotta make money. I gotta make money. I gotta make money. I hate not having money in my bank account. I hate having to borrow money from people. Like, I just had to borrow money from my sister to get my car fixed. That sucked. Like, I hate borrowing money.
Yeah.
It sucked. And that's like my thing. Like, I've been trying to save, save, save. I saved to get my dental work done. I saved, save, save to help pay for this wedding, which has been ridiculous. But
I know,
that's
but
what keeps me going to work.
If I keep bouncing around, no one's gonna want to hire me.
I don't think that's true. I mean, I definitely don't think it's good to bounce around so much, but I also feel like the culture has changed so much now compared to when I started working. How old am I? I'm going to be 29 in 4 days. So I started working 13 years ago, and I know I didn't get a job at Sheets. I didn't get a job at Sheets because I didn't keep a job for more than 6 months. But then I found a place that did hire me, and I ended up working there for 3 years. You know, it's all about finding something. And you got to remember, too, and like, I'm not saying that you don't do this, but every job is going to have something that you don't like about it. The job I have now, I love my job. I love learning new things every day. I love doing IT and working a help desk and fixing people's problems. But there are specific things about the job that really drive me up a wall. And that's going to be anywhere you work. You're always going to find something to complain about no matter where you work, even if you like doing the job.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really hope I like this job because after that, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you're not going to be selling parts. You're going to be actually working on cars. And I don't know what all doing like lube tech stuff entails, but I would imagine probably like oil changes and stuff having to do with tires. I think that you physically working on the cars instead of selling parts from behind a desk, I think you keeping busy and doing stuff with your hands is going to help you a lot. I think that I personally would be very shocked if you didn't like this job.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've just gotten so lazy lately.
Well, you got to change it. You just start going out for runs in the morning. Get
Yeah.
up, go for a run before work, eat and walk on your lunch break. That's part of it. You got to get more active because I assume
Yeah.
you're probably not very active right now because I know I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, if it's hot from working in the garage all day and you want to come up and jump in the pool, you're more than welcome to do that. My dad won't care.
Yeah.
You know, come up for like 30 minutes to an hour or go for a walk for 30 minutes to an hour and then stream. But don't get off work and go right home and stream. It's not healthy to sit at a computer all day.
Yeah.
I know, because I do it. I sit at a computer all day and then I come home and I'm glued to my phone like this. It's
Right.
not healthy. It's not good for anybody. I wish the lights would figure out what they're doing. I feel like it's so bright in here. I'm gonna see if I can dim these lights. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps. It's a little better. There we go.
Yeah, you're good to listen,
Anyway,
normal.
what?
I was talking to someone in chat.
No. Hello. This is cool.
What?
I don't know. I've never done like a podcast or like live stream thing before. Pretty neat.
Yeah. It's not live on YouTube, it's just live in the Discord.
Yeah, it's still cool. I'm
Just
such a nerd.
so good. But I don't know.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, but you gotta go into this job with a good mindset because if you're going into it already thinking that, oh, I hope I like this job or I'm just hopeless. You can't go into it like that, dude. That's not good.
I'd never have a good mindset about anything.
Well, that's your problem. You gotta fix it. You gotta. This is what I do, and it's probably not any better, honestly. But I always go in hoping for the best, but I also expect the worst. But I try to lean more on that hope for the best side of things.
Right. Yeah.
It'll be alright. You'll find your way. You can't give up though.
I hope. Because I feel lost and don't know what I'm doing and don't know what I want to do.
I know adults that are 10, 20, 30 years older than us that are still trying to figure that out. I don't think anybody ever really knows what they want to do.
Yeah.
I said to Johnny a few months ago, before I started the job I'm at now, because I was getting really frustrated with everything. Like, I spent all this money working towards this degree, and I spent the last 4 years of my life getting off work, going home, sitting at my computer desk, doing schoolwork, getting a shower, eating, going to bed, wake up the next day, do it all over again. Had to spend most of my Sundays writing papers for my classes, doing forum posts, whatever. And it felt like when I was done, because technically, so I graduated in December, but technically I was done classes in October. They just didn't confer the degree until December. So I had been applying to jobs before I even finished. I started applying to jobs in June of last year, and I didn't get the job that I'm at now until the end of April of this year. And I was starting to lose all hope. I told Johnny, I said, I feel like I just wasted the last 4 years of my life and all of this money paying for this degree that I can't even use. I'm like, I have a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity, but I can't get a job in cybersecurity because I have no experience. And like, I get it, it's a really hard field to get into, but it's also hard not to get into that mindset of like, I just wasted 4 years of my life and all this money, and it's literally going to be another piece of paper hanging on the wall. Because, like, I went to school and learned how to do hair. And I don't know, like, that was just something to do after my mom died because I mean, I know I started it before, but that wasn't my dream. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I feel like the stuff that I went through as a teenager completely altered the way that my life could have been because my original dream was to go to veterinary school. I wanted to open up my own veterinary practice, and then my mom got sick. So I ended up not doing that because I was afraid that if I left to go to veterinary school, that something would happen to my mom. Well, plot twist, something did happen. So, she was sick, and I decided that I was going to go to school to learn how to do hair. I thought it would be fun. I'm like, okay, me and all my friends did our hair in high school. My hair's been every color of the rainbow, and I got into it, and I hated it, and it sucked.
Yeah.
So, I paid all that money to go to school for that, and it was like a waste of time. But basically, I kind of got off track there, but my point is, nobody really knows what they want to do. We're all trying to figure it out as we go. But don't give up because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you don't see it yet. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I wish I could do school, but I just can't.
You got to have the mindset for it and you have to be disciplined because if
I'm not.
you're not going to get anywhere with it. And that's the problem. Again, and I've said this to you many times before, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, I'm tired of fucking living this way, and you're going to make the changes. Or you don't, or you won't, and you'll continue living the same way that you're living now.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just, I woke up one day and I was like, I can't take this anymore. I'm tired of working these dead end jobs. I have to go to school for something. My first two things of school that I wanted to do ended up not panning out, and then I ended up going to school for IT and then changed my degree my first semester to cybersecurity, and here I am. And I found a really good entry level job making really good money, and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
But you gotta want it. That's the problem. You have to want it because if you
I don't
start
know what I
school, I
want.
mean, because you've done it. That's why you should just go. This is what you should do. If you think that you eventually want to go back to school, what you need to do is go to a community college and get your general classes out of the way. Math, science, history. What else do they do? English. Those are the classes that you need to get out of the way. Get that out of the way, and then you have all of your general studies done. And that probably is going to take about a year or two to get those classes done. Like, it's a commitment. It's not something you can't. I feel like people go to school and expect things to happen overnight, and they don't. Like,
Yeah.
depending on what you go for, like, you could go for an associate's degree, or you could go for a bachelor's degree, or you could say screw college and go to a technical school and learn how to work on cars. Which, I mean, you're kind of already learning how to do that by being a lube tech at Jiffy Lube, but
Right.
or even like going and doing like HVAC stuff. Like, I know YTI has HVAC programs and a couple other things. You know, you don't have to go to a 2, 4, 6, 8 year college. There's so many technical programs out there, or you don't even need to do that either. Like, for example, please don't do concrete. I mean, you can, but it's going to be hard on your body. You're going to be tired and you're going to have no life, because that's what Aaron currently deals with. But like with 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 Aaron works for the union, and you wouldn't like his job anyway because he travels a lot. Like right now, I think the closest job he's been working at's been like 2.5 hours away
Yeah.
in Allentown. But what you can do is like look into jobs. Like my friend John. My friend John did an apprenticeship for a union that did like electrical stuff, and I think he was pretty local because he lives in Mechanicsburg. But he did an electrical apprenticeship program through whatever company it is that he works for, and once he hit X amount of time, he got promoted to journeyman. So he started out at a really low rate because you're an apprentice, you're not going to get paid good money. But in the end, if you stick through staying with the apprenticeship, you will be making good money once you graduate up to a journeyman. So that's what he did. And same with Aaron. When Aaron started working in concrete, I'm pretty sure he started out as an apprentice because he had no experience. He used to work at Clark.
Yeah.
But he started out as an apprentice and he worked his way up, and now he's a finisher, and he just started learning how to do the carpentry stuff, and now the carpenters want him to move over to their union, which he can't because the jobs would be even farther. But you know, it's not school's not for everybody. And like, I remember when you graduated high school, grandma was trying to push you into going to college right away, and I told her, I said, I don't think that you should do that. I did that. I went to school right after I graduated, and I don't even use that. I use it once a month, cutting people's hair.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay not to know what you want to do. That's fine. I think even Aunt Tess, I don't think Aunt Tess got her degree until she was 40 or 50. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There is no one or no timeline that says, like, you have to know what you want to do tomorrow unless you're graduating high school. Then all of the teachers are going to push that on you. But I hate that. That's the thing I hate the most about school. Like public schools, K through 12. Like they keep telling you, oh, you got to know what you want to do. How do you expect an 18-year-old or even 17, some people graduate at 17, how do you expect these people whose brains are still developing, because your brain's not fully developed until you're 25, how and why are we pushing these children basically into a 4-year degree program or a 2-year, or say they think they want to be a doctor? Well, now it's 8 years or more because the doctorate program is like super extensive and long, and you have to do residencies and clinicals and all this stuff. I don't think that an 18-year-old should be making that decision. And
Right.
a lot of people disagree with me, and people want to fight me on it all day long. I don't care. I know that that wasn't what was best for me when I graduated high school, and a lot of my friends that went to school, they don't use their degrees either. So I don't know, it's just frustrating.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I wasn't even doing bad in college. Like, my grades were like B's. And, like, that's not bad. I just got so overwhelmed that I just couldn't do it.
Were you taking too many classes
I was only taking 4.
at a time?
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. I was only taking 2 at a time. Were you working full time when you were doing this?
Yeah.
No wonder you were overwhelmed.
No, just
So
school
I was
in
only
general
taking,
overwhelms me.
I don't know. I feel like if you weren't doing as many classes, it maybe wouldn't. And like, you don't have to do all those classes at a time. Like my friend Nicole, like she got Yeah, it does sound like he was doing a lot at the time. I think like if you do plan on going back, you can do it so that you only take one class at a time. Now, if you do it that way, only do one or two at a time, financial aid might not pay for it, so you might have to pay out of pocket or do what my friend Nicole
Exactly.
did and get school loans from the bank. She graduated and her loans were paid off. Like there are options.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I could only do it where it was paid for if it was full time.
I think that if you what were you trying to get a degree in?
Nothing. I just told them that I was interested in philosophy and they put me in anthropology 101.
Because like my school, for me to do financial aid, I had to do 4 classes per semester. But the thing is it's the courses were only 8 weeks long. So you were doing what I did is I did 2 classes at a time. So it was 2 8-week classes, and most of them were fine. Like there was one class that I was like, oh my god, this is a lot, but it was like pertaining to my actual degree. It wasn't just the general credits and stuff like that. Because it's like I said, like if you went in there and said that you were interested in philosophy, that's fine. But if they were putting you on a degree path for that, that's a little crazy. And they should have maybe just started out with the general credits and then if you had electives, because like I think I had it was probably like 3 or 4 elective classes that I could pick. Like that would have been a good opportunity for you to use your electives to take some like intro to philosophy classes or whatever they might have offered at the school at the time, just to get a taste of it and see if that was something that you were interested in. But like my school, again, it was 4 classes per semester, but the semester was 16 weeks long, and you took 2 classes at a time, and they were 8 weeks long, and they weren't bad. And most of the stuff was like it was a lot of writing finals, but it was usually like 4 to 6 pages, and I figured out like what font to use to make the pages appear longer than they needed to. I learned some tips and tricks along the way.
Right.
So but I mean, if that's something that you're interested in doing in the future, I would say definitely like talk to me more about it, and I can help you definitely research some more on that too. Because again, I went through, I don't know if you know this, but before I got my degree, my original plan was to go to Hack to be a radiology technician. I wanted to work in a hospital and take X-rays. Um, my ultimate goal was to work in like a NICU center, X-raying babies or children, like doing like pediatric X-rays. Um, and I think it was like a week or two before I was supposed to start at Hack, the financial aid office called me and they were like, "Oh, you owe X amount of money." And I was like, "What do you mean? Financial aid was supposed to pay for that." And that was when they're like, "Oh no, you have to take X amount of credits for financial aid to pay for that." And I'm like, "I work full time. I cannot do that." And that
Yeah.
was in May of 2019. And then at that point, I just felt like all hope was lost. I'm like, okay, I wanted to go to school to do hair. Found out I didn't like doing that as a job. You weren't going to make money unless you opened up your own salon. You have to have clientele to open up your own salon. I didn't have that. So that went on the back burner. And then I wanted to go to school to learn how to work on motorcycles because I just always thought that that would be really cool to do. Well, then YTI's motorcycle campus shut down 2 months before I was supposed to start there. And there's only 2 schools left in the whole country to learn how to work on motorcycles. One is in Orlando, Florida, and one's in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm like, okay, not doing that because I'm not moving away from my dad. So then I go to Hack, the whole Hack stuff falls apart, and I know quite a few people that have been to Hack since then that have the same exact experience that I had. So I don't know what they're doing. But then, so that was in May 2019. And then I think in August is when I went and I talked to Johnny and I was like, hey, I think I might be interested in working on computers. I mean, we grew up in like such, I mean, technology started booming when we were growing up. I mean, I remember being on MySpace and stuff like that and all the Windows updates and everything and LimeWire and online gaming started becoming a thing and I just was like, this is good job security. Computers are going to be around forever. They're never going to not be around ever. So went to school, started my degree in IT, like I said, and then I think it was my first semester is when I switched my degree over to cybersecurity because they're not the same thing, but they're very similar. You kind of need to know how to do IT stuff to do the cybersecurity stuff. But with
Right.
job security, you're always going to have somewhere to work because computers are never going away. And you can't build a computer to fix a computer. You have to have like human beings be able to remote in or connect to a PC in whatever way to fix it. Like they're not going to be able to build a computer that does that.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't even remember now.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like everything that I actually want to do, you have to be like a top one performer. You know what I mean?
What?
I feel like everything that I actually want to do, you have to be like a top one performer.
Like what?
I mean, streaming, YouTube, music, baseball, anything that I can think of.
I mean, I feel like you could have done something with baseball. I thought you were good. Why don't you get back into that?
I don't know where to start. I don't want to do softball. And I feel like my only option is to go to college. And I'm lazy and
I don't
fat
know.
now.
Aren't there teams? You're not fat. Stop saying that.
Yeah, but
Aren't
I
there
used to
teams
be
locally that
fast
you can
and
join?
now I gained like 40 pounds, so now I'm not fast anymore.
Okay. But this is all going back to like what I said. You need to start getting more active. Get up in the morning. The first thing that you do after you drink a cup of coffee, or do it before you drink a cup of coffee, I don't care. Go for a walk, go for a run. You can't expect to have change if you're not doing what you need to do to make the changes. If you like baseball and that's what you like doing, then you should work towards that. Make that a goal.
So,
I mean, you don't know. You could go on to a local team and there could be scouters there and they might, have you go play for the York Reds or the Harrisburg Senators. And then from there, I don't know, Major League Baseball? Is that what it's called?
yeah,
I watch hockey. Okay, I'm sorry.
it's
But,
okay.
you gotta start somewhere. You can't just, and I'm not saying that you're like this, but I know a lot of people are. You can't sit in your house and expect everything to be handed to you on a silver platter. You have to fucking work for it.
Yeah.
Nothing worth doing is going to come easy. Yes, what team do you like? I want to know. I like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ryan, you should be a hockey player.
I've thought about it. I've actually always wanted to do hockey, but
Oh,
I don't know. I
it would be
never was
fun.
able to get
Have you
into
ever,
it.
not the Rangers. Ryan, have you been ice skating?
Yeah. It's just like skating, in
Okay.
my opinion. Everyone says it's different, but I feel like ice skating and roller skating is the same thing.
I definitely feel like I can go on roller skates a lot longer than I can on ice skates. I
Yeah.
feel like ice skates hurt my ankles really bad.
Well, it's just like inline skating. That's why I think it's so similar. I mean, everyone says it's so different, but it's really not, especially when you grew up on skates and have lived on skates.
I know, I haven't been skating in forever. I would love to go again.
You're trying to learn
Trying
to
to
play
learn how to play
hockey.
hockey. That's cool.
I don't know. Again, I just feel like everything I want to do, I have to be a top one performer or something.
I think you're just too hard on yourself and you don't give yourself a chance. That's the problem.
Yeah. But how do I change that?
You just gotta do it. Just do it. Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. You gotta put in the work for yourself. Because if you don't, nothing's gonna change, and you're gonna be stuck feeling the same way you feel.
Yeah.
It's work. It's hard work, and it sucks, and it's not fair to the people that have mental health issues to have to work so hard to not be miserable. But unfortunately, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I'm starting a new job normal. Yeah, me too.
Me too. We need happy Lepo.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm probably gonna have to get a second job. I'll probably get a job at a restaurant or something as a server or something if I can.
Oh, maybe you should look into Chili's. Paige works there. She makes decent money.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. It might be hard because I've never been a server, so I don't know if they'll hire me or not. I've even thought
I feel
about
like you're
like,
good with talking to people.
yeah, I've even thought about doing like Denny's and working third shift or something.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. Is Denny's still open 24 hours in Hanover?
I thought so.
If they're not, I know the Eisenhower Diner is.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably look more into it. But
Yes. Whatever you do, do it 100%. I agree. Willow, go lay down.
oh man. But
It's been an exhausting week.
it has.
I
My
freaking
mental's been
fell asleep
cooked.
last night. All right, hold on. I gotta let the dogs out.
Okay.
Can you stop yelling?
My mental's been
Stop it.
cooked.
You. Oh, no. Come here, Willow.
I'm gonna be a lube
Your
tech
daddy.
at a Jiffy Lube normal. Yeah. So, but yeah, my mental's been cooked this week.
I was so tired last night that I fell asleep with my iPad in my hands. And then Aaron came over to sleep, which I didn't know that he was going to do that because it was like only down to like 9:45. And I haven't been able to go to sleep lately until like almost midnight just because of everything going on. But Aaron came over to lay down and freaking woke me up when he opened the door. I was so mad. I'm like, I just fell asleep. I haven't barely slept.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the last 3 times I slept, I woke up with a headache.
Well, could be stress.
Yeah.
I'm house sitting right now, and you should see I have Mitters with me since she's been having seizures and stuff. I didn't want to leave her at home. But you should see how small she looks compared to their Saint Bernard. So
Right.
funny. She's like this, and the other dog's like this. When are you getting your tattoo? That just reminded me because I saw mine.
Which one?
the Zoidberg one.
I don't know. I don't have money. I'm gonna be probably struggling for a while. So I'm in so
Yeah,
much debt.
true.
And I don't know how much I'm gonna be making.
Yeah. Yeah, it is scary. She's an 18-year-old Beagle Rat Terrier mix, and she had her first one on Father's Day, and it was really terrifying. And then she didn't have one for like 2 weeks, but then she had one every day for like 9 days straight. So she's on medicine for it now. I think we just hit the 2 week mark since she's had one, so we're doing good. But yeah, it was pretty terrifying because I've never experienced that before.
I kind of want a dog, but I don't know if I could take care of it. So I don't want one.
I I don't think that you should have a dog in that house.
Yeah.
Too much for it to get into
Yeah.
downstairs. Grandma, if you're listening to this, I love you.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
Get
Here
a
you go.
kitten? No.
I tried to give him one, and it loves my grandma, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Rosie. Rosie loves my dad more than me, and I'm like, Dad, if you'd just let me take her upstairs when she was 8 weeks old, maybe she wouldn't be so attached to you. Oh, what's your cat's name? I wonder if I can. I'm gonna email myself a picture of Vanessa to share. Twins. Oh, I wonder. I could probably pull Discord up on my phone. Wow. Harry Potter. Where is?
I don't know what just happened.
You went
But I'll,
muted and lost your camera.
well, that's because it's pulled up on my phone now. I'll fix that in a minute. I want to send this picture of Vanessa in the chat.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, you're good.
Maybe if I can figure out how to do it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't I just albums? All right. I'm gonna close out of my phone and hope that I can resume on my PC. Hold on.
Okay. For someone that works in IT, I sure don't know what I'm doing. I love your cat's colors, Normal. Ryan, you can get a hamster or
I
a
don't
fish.
want a hamster. Hamsters live for like a year or two.
We'll get a fish.
A fish lives for like a week.
That's not true. Slate had a fish that just would not die. He had that fish for like 5 or 6 years. And it was a carnival fish.
Nice.
Oh.
But
What's the orangish tan cat? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. What you doing? Hitter's just looking at me like, why aren't we at Ed?
Yeah, I'm gonna end the recording, then we can just chat for a little if you want.
All right, sounds good.